Good morning. I tell ya, there's just something about these beautiful mornings where I just want to share it, to be very frank. So then I have to come up with an excuse other than sharing it to why I'm doing the video. And this one is relevant. I'm going to show you a little footage on the pasture and some of the discussion behind it. I guess better said pasture management, how we're doing it other than with the animals. So we'll take a look at a few things here, and if you followed some of the earlier videos, it's this game, right, of not getting them out too soon, but because you don't want to set the grass back. It's all weather dependent, so many things. And then you fall behind. So we have a bunch of seed heads here. Got a lot of Kentucky bluegrass is what you see there, also known as, I think it's like meadow grass. And then a lot of orchard grass, which would be this guy here. And they're leaving all this orchard grass, or the majority of it. If it's got a seed head, they're not touching it. So that becomes not a problem per se, but it's, you know, it's forage that they're not taking. So then when they leave the paddock, this is the paddock they were in last night. You can see the seed heads, right? So they're leaving that. There's a whole legitimate conversation about just leaving that, not worrying about it, don't spend time or effort. And I'm open to that conversation, but with what we're doing here, a lot of it is trial and error. So what we go back and do, Landon actually did it last night, we're mowing the pasture, and we set it high so that it basically mimics that grazing by the cattle, and it knocks those seed heads off. And then you have left, now you have, I don't know if you would say equal competition as everything around it tries to grow, but a baseline. And again, there's a conversation here about time, effort, fuel, resources that may not really come ahead. On a small scale like us, where we're doing trial and error, it still makes sense to do it for at least now. Well, good morning, Reba. Tell you, these calves are just flourishing on this pasture already. They're all grazing, chewing their cud during the day. Love to see it. Sorry for the noise in the background. So that's what we're doing right now. We're doing some trial and error with mowing the paddock after we come out of it. And we're working through these pretty quickly just because they've gotten so mature on us. These being the pastures. So, you say goodbye, Reba? I'm gonna be honest, as I go to edit this video, I don't know if some of the other videos I took earlier this week will make it into it, but where the chickens were, where the bale grazing was at, those lessons learned on a very short term. We can see those impactful areas, like right here is super grazed down compared to the rest of it. Well, the chickens were here, a lot of nitrogen put in there, so you have a very lush grass, as well as the grass was set back a little bit by the chickens. So that was more immature, which equals palatable forage. So they really hit those areas hard. So everything's just trial and error and experiment right now. So over here in the north pasture, we fed a bunch of hay here, but we also had the double bonus of running the chickens here. So this is maybe hard to see, but this is really green all through here. And then you can see where it begins to yellow out where we didn't feed the hay. This is also an example where the thatch was left too thick. I actually, when we were dragging it, I saw that we missed this spot, and I left it intentionally to see how it goes. So this is dead, right? Because, or not dead, but nothing can grow because there's 2 inches of, you know, 1.5 to 2 inches of that thatch on there. But you can see that the nutrients are working its way out, you know, into the surrounding area. So this is really, really lush around here. But it'll be interesting to see if the soil tries to produce a weed that will come up in this area, or what will happen specifically where this was left too thick. But overall, anywhere that we fed hay that we didn't leave in too large a clumps, it really came back very nicely. I mean, you can see the distinct difference like here. And if I go dig into there, I can find loose thatch from feeding. And like I said, this is where we had the chickens too, so it really helped out. So those are just some short-term intermediate grades, if you will. The real benefits will be seen longer term, or even the negatives, if you will. But it's just an initial look to see how the bale grazing is doing. This is our first time through the north pasture, and we'll keep an eye on it. Have a great day.